Wonderful.
Okay. Okay, so welcome everybody. I'm Helen. We'll just go back to the beginning a little bit. So it's been an absolute pleasure to be working with Emma and supporting her on our catalogue systems. I'm on this evening to share that with you. The catalogues are my baby. I have been myself in network marketing for 18 years and I've been with Oriflame for 6.5 years now. So, and I built my business with the Clean Easy catalogue. So we built a massive customer base with Clean Easy. In fact, we had over 1,200 catalogue customers at one point, which was just incredible. And we used to go out and I wouldn't think anything of doing 400 catalogues a day. Like we used to go out and really hammer it and help team. I loved being out in the field, supporting the team with this. I think one thing that is really, really important with the catalogues is having a system because we can overcomplicate it for sure. And I've seen people overcomplicate it. I think we like to keep things as simple as possible with lots of things that have been tried and tested. So these systems for sure have been tried and tested and they work. And I'm going to share with you later on some results that I am getting from my customers that I have had now for 18 years. So, you know, it's amazing that they are still ordering from us after 18 years, but I think it's down to good customer service and, you know, being regular and reliable and building those relationships. But I'm also going to share with you some results from my mum. So my mum has been building her customer base this year. So you may think, oh, it was okay for you. You did that 18 years ago and you're getting these results. But I want to also share with you something that's really current because I think that is really, really important. And for me, this little catalogue, it's a money-making machine. But it won't make you money if you tuck it under your bed or leave it in the closet. You know, you don't kind of go in there and open it up and find pound notes in there. And I always say that to people. They work by getting them out into people's hands and into letterboxes. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to share with you this evening. I want to go through working with catalogues with friends and family, presenting, our blanket drop-in system, so kind of doing locally in your area. Obviously, I'll share some results. And then when we are customer based, and so this is where you're leading to finding a solid customer base that is an income producing asset for you that you're going to go deliver your catalogues to and keep getting them repeat orders and keep getting your sales in and not being worried about it. So we'll start with our family and friends. This is the obvious place to start. And I'm sure most of you are already doing this. You know, send in those catalogues, either a physical catalogue, which I personally believe that is the best way if they're local to you. But obviously we have the e-catalogue as well. But just to everybody that you don't know who is looking to order from you. So make sure that you're handing them out. And if you are not sure how long you've been in, if some of you are new, you know, just start by getting 10 catalogues and aim to do 5 a day and get them into your workplace, get them around your neighbours, get them around your family, people that you know, because they know, like, and trust you. So they are going to naturally be the ones that support you. And it's what's going to get you off to the fastest start to building a catalogue customer base. So some top tips, and you'll have heard these things before, but always have a catalogue with you. I've always got one in the car. I've always got one in my handbag so that when you are out and about, you've got them with you. Always have a couple of samples as well. And be the product of the product, you know, wear the perfume, put the makeup on. It's always a great conversation starter. So our friends and family we have a friends and family for our customers that we give out. So it's like a little leaflet that goes out and it asks them if they would like some extra money. Would they like, you know, £50 to spend on Oriflame products? Would they like a tenner? So here is one here. This is a flyer that goes out in our catalogues. The idea of this is that you give them a little friends and family pack. So a little bundle, 3 to 5 catalogues with some order forms that they can then pass around their friends and family. So now you've started doing your friends and family, you've got them doing their friends and family, and you can see how this is really going to very quickly ripple out. Their orders, whatever they total, you will give away some of your commission, okay? And then they can order some more products. And the reason we do this is for a number of reasons. So this is why it works. It's going to build customer loyalty. You can see here another little flyer that we use. You're going to increase your volume. When you increase volume, it will mean that you are moving up the success plan. You are getting yourself bigger bonuses. You are going to find more customers. So your friends and family passing to their friends and family is finding you more customers in a quickest way possible. But you know what, for me, this is a absolutely great way to introduce people to the simplicity of the business. And you know what, they may even just join your team. So it's really good. You can get them to go and get some orders and then suggest that they join and then open up like things like their welcome program and things straight away if they've got that bundle of orders already going. So we're going to move on now to presenting. Some people are really confident and love to knock on the door and love to speak to people. This is not for everyone. And if I'm dead honest, it wasn't something that I ever did, but I know people in the team that have done this and have had really good success with it. So what do we mean by presenting? Presenting means that you're going to go out and you're going to knock on the door and you're going to give a catalogue to somebody. You're going to introduce yourself. So I'm going to go through how we do that. The best times to do it are obviously around tea time when you get more people at home. But the next best time is just whenever you can, because sometimes we can't go out at tea time. We may already have a schedule. So all you need to do is work out a plan of when you can fit in time to go and take these catalogues. So there is an example here of a plan. This is one of my team members where they go and put 30 out every evening. They've got a full-time job and it shows when they're picking up, when they're doing the stragglers and getting out, you know, just by doing 30 a night, you'll be covering 150 catalogues a week. So you don't need 150 catalogues to do that because you're going to pick them up and you're going to keep reusing them. So how long do you leave them? We always suggest generally on a tomorrow slip, so a 24-hour slip. You can increase that once they start becoming customers, but you ultimately want those catalogues back. And we found over time that you do not get any better results by leaving catalogues when you are doing this system any longer really than 24 hours. There are people that will want them longer, and that is absolutely fine. But for most people, you will just want to get the catalogues back in. So what you want to take is the catalogue pack, but also what we call our wet book and retail book. And I'll go through what that is and how we're going to keep records of where we've been and who has had a book and who hasn't and who's ordered. We'll go through some of that shortly. Now make sure in your catalogue pack that you have the slip, and you have a slip with the order form on the front of the pack so they know who you are. This is actually my mum's slip. And when you are coming back and what you want them to do with the pack. So it's asking them to leave it outside the door for collection, because what we want to do is we want a system that we put it through the letterbox ultimately and they leave it out for us for collection so that it makes it quicker and slicker for us to run our business. Initially, that doesn't happen. I think some people maybe need to go to Specsavers and they don't read the slip. So, you know, it is about training them up and it's letting them know what you want them to do. We have other slips then once you are customer base and as we progress through the business where we can leave things like links to our beauty shop, ask if anybody wants to join the team, see if anybody is interested in having any extra money. But when you start off, just keep your slips really simple. People don't even read the basic of information, so you really don't need a whole big blurb all about you and all the rest of it. Just a very simple slip that lets them know what you want to do. So how are we going to do it? Big assertive knock on the door, a big smile, because people like a friendly greeting, don't they? So you're going to hold the catalogue at the side of you. Don't hold it kind of up in front of you, because then it's going to look really salesy. When you hand over the catalogue, make sure that you say, this is your catalogue. Don't ask them if they want one. When you ask a question, would you like a catalogue, you are opening yourself up to a no, and we don't want no's, do we? So just tell them that you are leaving the book for them. Okay, so we have a little script here. And what I'll do is I've got all of these notes on a little handout, Emma, so I shall pop that over with the recording for you, and you can pop that into your chats and groups so everybody has all of this information to hand. So what you say is, hi, I'm sorry to bother you. My name is Helen, or whatever your name is. I live just around the corner. Really important to let them know that you are local to them, because people like to support local people. And I'm just giving you a copy of your catalogue. So that's where we throw in that bit. They go, oh, it's for me. So it's for the evening. Please feel free to have a look and leave it down here for me to collect tomorrow. So let them know, and then do a quick bye and off you go. So they won't have a chance to kind of say no to you. And if they do, it really doesn't matter. So just cross them off and say that's absolutely fine. So why presenting? Well, when we meet people, when we introduce ourselves, they get to know you from the get-go. So that's really important. It speeds up building that customer base. So you'll cross some people off a little bit quicker. You'll build some relationships up quicker, and you will start to build that much sooner. You will see increased sales from presenting. So if you haven't got a lot of catalogues, you really want to go out and earn some money, you feel really confident about doing this, this is the quickest and the easiest way to go and do that and to achieve your goals. So when we speak to our customers, obviously there is always the opportunity then for an upgrade to a VIP customer, because we have an opportunity to explain to them the benefits of being a VIP with our rewards program, etc., etc. I don't need to explain all that to you guys, because you'll know all about that. So when we get a little bit more confident with this, what we can do is we can actually take doorstep demo products with us as well. So take a perfume, a hand cream, maybe like the tender care, a couple of samples with us, so that you've got something. People love to feel, smell and try things. So like we always say, don't we try before you buy, and it'll give them a lot more confidence in the products that we have on offer. So our blanket drop-in, okay. Now, this picture here just represents it's got more than one advantage. Yes, we're going to build a customer base. Yes, we're going to earn more money, but you know what? It really helps to get you fit. So if anybody on here is looking to get fit, wanting to lose some weight, this is a great way to earn money and do your steps. I have a little goal with my steps each day. So I love going out blanket dropping, because I think whilst I'm walking and getting my exercise in, I may as well be earning money at the same time. Now, if you're anything like me, when we first did this, we were like the secret agent. We had like literally sniped. We felt like, oh my God, what the neighbour's going to say, what the people going to say. You know, if we could have, we would have worn the balaclava, sniped up the path, thrown the catalogue through the letterbox. You know, there is a real fear, and if you are feeling that, then please know that you are not on your own. But I can also say that putting catalogue through front doors will not kill you. And you'll be very pleasantly surprised at how acceptance and how people are really so lovely. Yes, you're going to come across the victim elders. They are out there. I think there's one of them, but he kind of and she kind of travels around a little bit. But you know, it is something, the more you do it, the more confident you come with it, and you will absolutely get addicted to it if you're anything like me. I know when we started, my husband actually said, absolutely no way we're doing on our doorstep. We were told to do that. He drove 5 miles away down to another estate, bumped into somebody that he works with, he didn't know lived there, so that kind of didn't work. But it's also, you know, now our customers are a 5 mile drive away, and that's a pain in the neck. So please just do on your doorstep. People will know you, they like you, they trust you, and they will buy from you, and it will make things so much more time effective for you as well. So your catalogues, your first step is getting your catalogues ready. You'll need to get your slips, your order forms. We do have a master copy of an order form where we can print our details on, or you can just use the Oriflame ones. That's absolutely fine. We also have a retailing book. So we have this little book, and I'm going to show you all about that in a moment. The little slips that are in there, obviously personalize them with your own name and your own number on them. But also, I always put either your team logo or something on them. You'll see ours has got, we're the Matrix group, so it's kind of got like the Matrix logo on there for us and our team. But I always say to team, like, if you want to put a photograph of yourself, people will get to know you, or put a picture of what your goal is. So I've had people have little cars, little wedding logo things because they want a new car, they want to they're getting married, that's what they're doing the business for, they're buying a new house, all of those sorts of things. So you can put a little picture on every time you pick your catalogue up. It's going to remind you of what your goal is. So put your packs together. You will need plastic bags to put them in because they're going to leave them on the doorstep. So you can see here, this is all in a little plastic bag. I can share the link where I get them from if you want to know more information about those. But put it together, and it's important that it is slip so they can read it. Order form here. Don't push it inside the book, because when you are picking them up, you need to see whether they've ordered or not. And if you have to open up every single pack to see whether they've ordered, then it's time consuming. And what you will find, some people just think you're psychic and they decide not to put their addresses on the order form. So you get home, you open the pack, you find the order form and you think, oh dear, oh bugger, who's that from? So just a couple of tips with this, really. We don't suggest leaving catalogues for any more than 24 hours. You want to get them back quickly so that you can put them out in more houses to find more customers. And like I said, get a little picture. Forgot to mention the holiday one, so you could have a little bit of Ibiza on there right now if that's something that you're going for, some palm trees or something. So when do we go? When do we do this? We need a plan. We all have different time constraints. I have a part-time job. Some people have full-time jobs. Some of us have children. We all have different things going on in our lives. So you'll need to cross off on a weekly planner the time commitments that you have with work and children activities. And then you can plan. I would be more than happy to help you plan for a weekly worth of blanket drop-in. That's no problem at all. Or a sponsor and upline, if they're experienced in this, I'm sure will absolutely help you. So we put on there when you're going to drop, when you're going to collect, when you're going to do straggler catalogues. So they're the catalogues that are not put out the first time we go back, when we're going to put the order on, when we're going to do customer deliveries, so that we have got a plan for the week and then we know what we are doing. It's important that we are planning, because as we know, we can plan our week and manage our time instead of that managing us. So where to go? Okay, have you thought about where you're going for your first drop? It's good, obviously, like I said, to stay close to home. Go out your front door, turn left or turn right, and do the houses that's on your doorstep. It is the most time effective way. Now, one of the things I always get anybody that I'm coaching to do is I get you to print a map off of your area. so that you can plan where you're going to do, and so that you can also think about your future drops, because we're going to have a 3-weekly cycle. We're going to have week 1, week 2, week 3, and we are going to go to these 3 areas on a rotation. We're going to go back to week 1 after we've done week 2, week 3. So we're going to go back to each house every 3 weeks. So here you can see this is where I live. This is the center, this is my house, and these are the roads around where I live. Then I am going to have a little look at that area and break down and think about how I am going to, so this is Malmesbury Park. I'm going to start here. I'm going to stay on the left or the right, and I'm just going to go in and out of the cul-de-sacs like this until I've covered all the houses. When I've done this area, I'm going to just ripple out and extend my circle. So I'm adding new areas on as I'm crossing houses off and continuing to build. So your retailing book, it's really, really important that we record where we've been. So we write down the house numbers and where you drop. So here you'll see this is Main Street, and we went to houses 2, 4, 6 and 8, 10, 12, 14. We then went into Church Close, and it started then 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. So just write it in the order that you drop the houses. It's easier when you are collecting them, because you are then going to, as you can see here, mark off where you have picked up from, who you've slipped, and who has ordered. So make sure that you are doing all of the houses, even the long drives and those little houses that are tucked away. When you go back, so you'll have dropped your catalogues, popped them through the letterboxes, recorded your wet book, you are now going to go back for your first collection. Please don't be tempted to knock the first time. You are going to train your customers so that when you go and collect, you want to train them to leave it outside the doorstep for you. This will, over time, make it quicker and slicker. Your first time is going to take you a bit longer because you are training them up to do this. So you have a little slip that you pop through the letterbox. This communicates with your customers. It lets them know that you have been to collect the catalogue. It lets them know that you went back when you said you were going to go back. And that's really, really important, because we are building a reputation. And what we don't want them to think is, well, they didn't bother coming back for that book. They said they were coming back tomorrow and they've not been back. This little slip of paper is so, so important. One of the things I would say, though, is when you do pop them through the letterboxes, please don't put your fingers through the letterbox. Please use a ruler or a kitchen spatula, because sometimes there are naughty little dogs behind those letterboxes and we don't want any little fingers being bitten. So when you're recording your first pickup, it's really, really simple. We keep the system, like I said, dead simple so that it's duplicatable down to our teams. It's a tick when you get the book back. It's an S if you've slipped and the book wasn't out. You've slipped and you've popped that slip through. If they've ordered, you pop an O in your wet book. And if they said that they don't want you to come back next time, then here you can see, like number 7, we have crossed them off. Now then, I said don't knock the first time, but when you go back for the second collection, we are going to knock. You do now want your books back. We've given them a little bit longer. Some people like to keep it a little longer because maybe they've not had a chance to look. So now it's going to be a chance for you to introduce yourself to your customer. And all you need to say is simply, "Hi, I'm Helen. I'm just calling to collect the Oriflame catalogue. If you've finished with it, make sure that you ask him whether they've finished with it. Don't just take it and assume that they have. They may ask to keep that a little bit longer. When they hand it back, always ask, is there anything that I can get you this time? You'll be really surprised by how many people will say to you, actually, yes, there was, and I haven't had time to write the order form out. So if you don't ask, you don't get. As you leave, just say thank you and let them know that you're going to be back in 3 weeks' time with a new book, and say to them, can you do me a favour? Can you pop it on the doorstep with or without an order, so that next time I don't disturb you? And part of this is about training them to leave it on the doorstep so that it's going to get quicker and slicker for you, and you will not have to knock as many times. Recording your second pickup. So we stay in the same column. This is the drop that we did, and we are just going to add. So if it's ticked, we know we don't need to go to them. If it's an S and we got the book back, we would now put a tick next to the S. If we have double slipped them, so it wasn't out again, you can double slip them, let them know that you have been. And if they have now ordered, you can put an S and an O in the box. And again, if they don't want you to come back, then you can put a cross next to their house number. So we go around and we do this cycle, I would say a minimum of 4 times to each house. I would always advise to actually go 6 times. But once you have now been to that area, anybody that has not ordered from you, you're going to give them the last drop slip. So this gives our customers that maybe, I don't know, for whatever reason, they've been on holiday, they've been in hospital, they've been busy with the kids, they just haven't had a chance to order from you. It gives them a chance to stay on your drop when you are moving to new areas. This area that you've done 4 to 6 times, anybody that has not ordered from you gets crossed off, and they are then just customers, and you are customer based in that area. So you're just going to go to the people that, whether they've ordered once, twice, 3 times, you are going to go back to those customers now as a customer based drop every 3 weeks. And we are going to continue then to build in new areas and add customers to your customer base as we go. Couple of do's and don'ts. So do ignore the signs. Sometimes you'll see we don't buy or sell at the door, or no junk mail. It's not junk mail. We're not asking them to buy at the door. We're simply putting a catalogue through the letterbox. Unless they specifically say to you, I don't want a catalogue, pop it through the letterbox. Ignore any other catalogue distributors. People are put off maybe if they see an Avon catalogue out or something. Please just pop your books out, stick to your plan. If you are doing lots of catalogues, a trolley is probably a good idea. It's quicker and slicker, unless you've got little ones in a pram where you can pop them on the bottom of a pram. Stay local. I'm going to say that again because it's going to help you so much, save so much time in building your customer base, and it's going to then be on your doorstep instead of flitting to lots of other areas and getting yourself tied up in circles. Talk to people in their gardens. If they are out, just a pleasant hi, isn't the weather lovely? Oh, you're busy doing your garden, or just something like really nice conversation. You will be surprised. Those people that you speak to in the garden, when you go back next time, probably have an order for you. It's crazy. Like, it's really just bizarre. I had a guy that was blanket dropping in my team once, and it happened a couple of times, and he really went out of his way to make sure he spoke to everybody in the gardens. Make sure that when you go, as you're spreading out now, and if you're going in your car, just park in sensible places for reloading your catalogues and allowing access to people's properties. You know, don't go and park on bottom of people's drives or anything like that. Please don't be rude. We don't even really need to say this, but you will find some people do come out and be quite rude with you. I always feel it's better to kill them with kindness So smile and be polite, move on. You know, if they don't want a catalogue, that's fine. I just always say, thanks so much for letting me know. That's a really big help, and I'll cross you off and I won't disturb you again. Don't prejudge houses. The big posh houses buy, and so do the scruffy ones. So don't prejudge any houses. And don't ask if they want a book. Give them it as everybody's having one. I'm just dropping off your catalogue. If anybody comes out, just let them know. Just walk past them and pop it through the letterbox. That's what I always do anyway. So now what we want to be doing as we're building that customer base up, we want to make sure as we are going that we are getting all of our customers' details. We are keeping good customer records. Every time you add a new customer, you can see your customer base growing. And then once you have been, like I said before, once you've been 4 to 6 times, you are just going to go back to the houses that are on this list. So it's important to keep this list. It's important to keep house numbers, customers' names, as you get telephone numbers, see how much they are spending on each drop. Mine, you can have these sheets in a folder. This is how we used to do it in the beginning. Now my customer base is all on a spreadsheet on OneDrive so that I can access that from everywhere. You can see I've got all my customers' information here. I know exactly how much they've spent all year with me. In fact, I know how much they've spent with me for the last 6.5 years. And I could probably go back and tell you what they've ordered for further back than that as well. So I like to keep a little total of where they're all up to and make sure that I'm keeping my good records. When it comes to doing customer deliveries, before the delivery arrives, get yourself organised. This was my table on Saturday night. My deliveries had come, my catalogues had come. I get my slips all printed off. All my order forms folded up, everything is all organised. So when you're bagging up your orders, also use this as an opportunity to do an unboxing video to post on social media. I use my stories all the time to let customers know the deliveries are coming, but also to let everybody know, look at the orders that we're getting right now, which really is demonstrating what you are doing in your business to others that are watching you. We use the empty boxes to put the deliveries in and put them into order so that as we're going round, we can just get them out really, really quickly. And make sure that when you go, you'll take a float. So what's going to happen with all of these orders, you're going to put them on the system. You are then going to get them all bagged up. You are going to deliver them to the customers. They are going to pay you. You'll pay off your invoice. And if you have not set up to have an invoice, then you just need to apply to head office for that. So that the goods get released to you on trust. You pay off your invoice, you pay yourself your cash commission into your pocket, and you're ready to go for your next order. So this is my mum. My mum is 73, and she had a little job and she lost a little job. Now, we had given her she's always been kind of a little bit involved in the business and understood little bits about it. She is 73. She lost her job. She told me that she needed to replace the money. It was a little job that she needed about £100 a month, and asked me if I would put a plan in place so that she could go and build herself an Oriflame customer base. So this time last year, campaign 11 last year, she was putting out to her 18 customers. Here you can see, and she got £118.71, and she'd earned herself £35. I then kept a record of her sales that she has created. So in C1, she didn't do C1, she had the campaign off for Christmas. C2, she got £433. That was off 20 customers, and she earned herself 130. Here you can see C3, C4. Now here, this is where she starts to blanket drop and starts to build more customers into her customer base. So you can see how her sales this year have started to increase. She picked up an order here from a brand new customer of over £100. Here, she picked up a customer on a second drop. So again, Like I always say, give people a second chance. If you blanket drop once and they haven't given you the book back, think about people being in hospital, people being on holidays, give them a second chance. But if they don't give you 2 books back, we say 2 strikes and you're out. And then they get crossed off. So always give them two chances. This particular customer on the second drop, the second chance, had ordered £42.15. So here's her totals so far from C1 to C11. She's done £3,912 and she has earned a total of £1,402. So over 8 months, that's given £180 a month, which she is absolutely delighted with. She only wanted 100, so you know it's a big bonus. And each campaign she's been earning on average £131. So she's absolutely delighted with that. She's also lost half a stone in weight. She's meeting new friends. It's giving her purpose and meaning and something to do each day. And I get little phone calls off her every day, giving me little updates, and it's just so lovely to have a part of the business. As we've been blanket dropping, we've been moving the customers into her customer base. So customer bases get done on one drop in the campaign, and then she'll blanket drop in between. And that's allowed her to then use those catalogues from the customer's drop to then go into her blanket dropping books to build new customers. When you go into the customer base, you'll change your slip slightly. So a customer base slip will look something more like this. And she uses this. So this does 17 campaigns, and we pop the dates in here to let the customers know when we are going to collect. As we drop the catalogue then with the delivery. And again, this is helping to save so much time. So instead of going and doing the drop and the pickup and the stragglers, you're now literally doing the delivery, dropping the next book, and then my mum goes and actually physically picks up the books then when she says that she's going to. Here's my results. Okay, so this was a C11 comparison, £814. I have about 83 customers. That's slightly gone down. I've lost a couple of late. But here you can see my totals. I'm not going to run through all of them, so you can read for yourself the sorts of results. I have done £8,008 from campaign 1 to campaign 11 this year. That has earned me this year, just on my retail commission, £2,402, which is a massive difference for lots of people that are looking for that extra bit of money. And then on top of that, obviously, I'm getting my team bonuses. These customers, guys, have been with us for 18 years and they are still buying from us, which I just find crazy. Once you've got a customer base, you've got an income producing asset for life. And most of my customers now are trained up so that they WhatsApp, call or email orders to me. So I collect a handful of catalogues now and literally drop my catalogue off for the next campaign with the delivery when I'm dropping that off. So a couple of customer benefits, customer base benefits, 1 drop per campaign, much more less time, regular orders, great friendships, an income producing asset. And you know what? Some of them actually have joined our team. But my biggest tip is you've just got to be the best. Go back when you say you're going to go back. Spend that extra little bit of time with those customers, building those relationships, and they will be a customer for life. So I'm hoping that's helped. Thank you very much for inviting me to do that. If you do need any help, please feel free to reach out to me and message me, and I can help you and support you in any way I can. Or if anybody's got any questions, we'll stop sharing, shall we? And then we can go to the thing. That was a lot of information, guys. I understand that. But if anybody really is seriously interested in building a customer base, then that's the way to do it.
Well, ladies, how was that? Told you she was good, didn't I? Has anyone got any questions they want to ask? We're still recording. We'll happily turn off the recording if you're okay to turn the recording off, Helen, if people want to just
I can
ask any questions that I think that the bit that we wanted recording was obviously the main